All right, all right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I am Matt Kowalis, the admin of Detroit Sports Bettors. And as always, we are coming at you with an NBA playoff slate breakdown. This is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. And today I'm really excited to get into today's slate. We have a two-game NBA playoff slate. And I think the last video we released was Thursday or Friday. Took a little bit of a break just because I was covering the UFC. We had the UFC on the podcast. If you have not checked the podcast, we are on Apple and Spotify. Talked about that UFC card in depth. Ended up going 4-1 and called the Brandon Moreno plus 188 victory. I also posted an article on Facebook. So I hope you got one of those. If not, go join us on Facebook or add us on Apple, add us on Spotify, and listen to that podcast. If anything, you will learn something about the sports that we're talking about, whether it be the UFC, the NBA, the NFL. I don't know anything about the NHL, MLB, or anything like that, but other people do. Kyle's been very hot. Mike knows some stuff about those sports as well. So again, you're getting multiple personalities and multiple picks. But for me, primarily, I am NBA, UFC, and NFL. Those are the three that I do. I have specific strategies for each, and I do not sway from them. Just like last night, if you saw what I did last night, I posted on Facebook, and my picks were Brooklyn 2.5 KD over 33.5 KD over 8.5 boards, and Drew Holiday over 30.5 points, rebounds, assists, which that one came up 0.5 short. But a lot of people are coming at me, just like, not necessarily coming at me, but like, why are you picking Brooklyn? I don't really understand it. And I've had a strategy for a long, long time. And if I'm somewhat split on two teams, I tend to go with the books, or I tend to go with Vegas, I guess you could say, whatever side the public is not on. And that's why I went with Brooklyn, and I don't sway from that strategy. The same thing happened earlier in the playoffs with the Lakers, and the Lakers let me down. So you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And last night we did well. We went 3-1. And in total on the year now, I believe we're 42-22. When I say on the year, I mean the NBA playoffs, okay? And that is including one 4-1 UFC day. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, you took all the favorites. No, I actually didn't. Brandon Moreno plus 188 is in that as well. So, yeah. Still, either way, though, I know we're hovering around that area, 42-22, around 65%. So it's been a hot playoffs. And I know you guys have also heard me talk about betting specific times of the year. The playoffs are one of those times because you know exact minutes, you know exact volume, you know who is going to have the ball in their hands. And that's kind of how it goes. And if you're a star player on a team and the ball is not in your hand at the end of the game, that is because of that star player. It's not because of the coach. It's essentially because they just didn't want the ball. Last night, KD wanted the ball and he went off for 49 points, so it really does come down to that player. And that's why I personally think it's easiest to pick in the playoffs and the beginning of the NBA season. After the All-Star break, it gets a little more difficult. So, and again, I apologize on the delay in getting this video up. I had to wait till Wednesday, honestly, because of that Brandon Moreno victory. Some of you guys know that Brandon Moreno is part of my company, Serenity Medical CBD. And after he won that title, man, Serenity blew up. And I was finally able to get caught up today. And I'm excited to get into everything today. We got a two-game NBA slate, starting off with the Hawks versus 76ers. The 76ers are at home. And then the Jazz against the Clippers. Okay, so and that one, news just broke about Kawhi Leonard potentially tearing his ACL. So that really sucks because my NBA championship bet was Clippers versus Sixers. And I know that's kind of a crazy bet, but I didn't buy into the Lakers at plus 400. I thought their road was far too difficult with Suns, Jazz, and Clip Show potentially. And then I thought Brooklyn was just, they're too top heavy. If they have a couple injuries like they have, they might lose. I mean, I know they're up 3-2. KD might be just too good. But I still think that if they were to face the Sixers, but I don't know, even the Sixers are hobbled now. Everybody's hobbled. So whatever, it's like that. Let's get into today's picks, okay? Now, first game we're looking at is the Atlanta Hawks against the Philadelphia 76ers, okay? That currently is a -7 spread for Philadelphia. And I actually, as you guys know, Philly is my choice. But tonight, I'm going to be going with Atlanta +7. To me, I know they're on the road, but 7 is a lot of points. It's a lot of points. The 76ers are hobbled with Joel Embiid. You don't exactly know how he's going to play. Like, he had, I believe, 40 and 39 at home, and he was way under that on the road in Atlanta. He's coming back home now, but with Danny Green going down and I can't even pronounce the dude's name, Cormax, whatever. He's the starter now. Yes, he could get hot. I mean, but like I think his ceiling is really like 15 points. So it's nothing crazy. He is a decent defender, but Atlanta is the deeper team. Atlanta's for sure the deeper team, like with Gallinari on their bench, Lou Will on their bench. They have some guys who can go get some buckets. Kevin Herter, they definitely have guys who can go and get buckets. And then that starting lineup with Trae Young, Bogdanovich, John Collins, Capella, it's a good starting lineup. It is. And then they have that bench behind it. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to be going tonight. Atlanta +7. I still think Philly wins this game, but I think it's a closer game. I think it's a dogfight, and I think it's within 7 points. Also, with this game, the over-under is currently 224. I'm going with the under 224 here. Again, with Danny Green going down, with Joel Embiid hobbled, Trae Young is hobbled. He's probable, but again, hobbled. I think this game could slow down a little bit. I think it could tend to go under 224. As the playoffs have gone on, Atlanta's pace has gone up slightly, but Philly has brought that back down because, again, Philly plays good D. Clint Capella is a very good interior defender. John Collins is a good defender. Both teams are solid. They really are. So I expect this one to be a dogfight. This is a game that both teams need very bad. So again, I'm going to be going Atlanta +7. I think 7's a lot of points for a deep team like Atlanta. And then I'm going to be going under 224. And then for this game too, I do like a couple player props here. For one, I like Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich over 18.5 points is -113 on DraftKings, and he has hit that in 3 out of 4 games this series. Okay, he's someone that I think the team has relied more and more on going forward. He has a great 3-point shot. He has a good mid-range jumper. He can attack the basket pretty well. And if Trae Young is a little bit hobbled, he may be looking to Bogdanovich a little bit more. Okay, Trae Young and Bogdanovich are generally the two guys that score the most on that team. And I like Bogdanovich tonight. I think this is a good spot for him. And I like him to get over 18.5 points. Okay. And then from there, Seth Curry, again, another guy who has hit this in 3 out of 4 games, and that's over 14.5 points. Danny Green's shots have somewhat shifted to Seth Curry. He's shot 10 times plus in all 4 games this series, more so going towards the 13 and 12 shots per game range. And a lot of those are 3-point shots. So, he can get that fairly easily. He's been far more aggressive. I would say like he might even be the third option now. Embiid, Harris, Curry, and then probably Ben Simmons after that. I would honestly say that. Because again, he has been far more aggressive this series. He's been looking to get that 3-point shot off. And again, I like it tonight. They're at home. You know how the home crowd gets when someone like Seth Curry makes a 3-point shot or a key bucket, things like that. I think he can feed off the crowd a little bit more. So again, I like Seth Curry at over 14.5 points tonight. And again, that is another one that is -113 on DraftKings. Okay. So this is the first game of the NBA playoff slate. And again, going over that is the Atlanta Hawks +7, under 224. Bojan Bogdanovich over 18.5 points. And then Seth Curry over 14.5 points. Okay. Now, going on to the Jazz versus the Clippers, or Clippers versus Jazz, I'm sorry. And this one is a Jazz -7 spread. Kawhi Leonard is out of that game and potentially out of the series. For me, I like the under as well, 220.5, because someone like Kawhi going down potentially shell shocks, the entire team. Like, he is their leader. He is their defensive leader. He is someone who attacks the boards and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that is something it's big. It's important. It could shell shock the entire team. So I'm definitely going to be going with the Jazz -7 here. And I just got a thought. I wanted to see what Paul George's rebounds were. Okay, Paul George is over 8.5 rebounds. I like that. I would take that as well. That's something I didn't think about, just because Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are both somewhat similar in attacking the boards. Paul George attacks maybe more than Kawhi Leonard, but now that Kawhi Leonard is off, someone has to get those rebounds. You know what I mean? They've been going small ball the entire series with mostly having Zubac run around 20 minutes, and Gobert has struggled. I like Gobert tonight because, he can only keep a man down for so long. But Kawhi Leonard's rebounds need to go somewhere, and I like Paul George to get those. So I'm going to be going over 8.5 rebounds as well. So the other ones that I like were a Rudy Gobert double-double and Utah Jazz win. Okay, that's minus 106. Pretty good odds. Like, I get it for a player combo. It's not amazing, but Rudy Gobert tends to get a lot of double-doubles, as we all know. I get he struggled a little bit in the series, but I think a minus 106 for that double-double and a win, especially when they have a -7 spread, that's a pretty solid bet right there. So I like to give that one to you guys. And another one I like is the Rudy Gobert over 25.5 points, rebounds, assists. This is extremely low. He's missed this in 3 out of 4 games this series. I get that, and that's why it's so low. But you can only keep a man down for so long. They have been running small ball the entire time, and I'm honestly shocked they haven't figured this out. The video that I made probably sometime last week or the week before, I said Gobert was the biggest mismatch in this series, and he still is. They've been running small ball on him the entire time, and honestly, I don't know. He's just been kind of playing like a sissy. He's got to get tough. He's got to go post up. Dude, you got Marcus Morris on you. Like, come on, just post up. So there was one game he had like 13 points and 20 rebounds. That's kind of where he should be at. I'm expecting like a 14, 15 rebound game, and then you only need 12 points from there, and you hit that over. It's for Gobert, that's not that bad. So the plays that I'm going to be going with in this game today are the Jazz, Utah Jazz -7. They still don't have Mike Conley, but I think it's just too much of a shell shock with Kawhi Leonard going out. Like, that is the guy. That'd be like Brooklyn with KD going down. You know, it's just tough. Like, they have other guys, but he is the guy. So I like the Jazz -7. I like the under 220.5. And someone did DM me early about the beneficiaries if Kawhi is going down. And the beneficiaries are definitely Paul George, number 1. Number 2, probably Reggie. Number 3, Marcus Morris. And again, I looked at their player point props, and Reggie Jackson was over 16.5. Marcus Morris was over 15.5. Both of them are only hitting that at about like a 33% rate. So it's just tough for me to go there. I let those slide, and I went with the Gobert action instead. And then I like that dub and win at -106. It's basically even money. I think that's a pretty good bet when he's gets a double nearly every game. And yeah, the Jazz and the under. You guys know how I am with the unders. I've taken a lot of unders in these videos. And one thing that you'll find with me is I have a strategy and I stick to it no matter what. And that's what I told a lot of people yesterday. Like, a lot of people DM me or text me, a lot of people about the Brooklyn pick yesterday. And I was like, look, I have a strategy and I stick to it. If something smells fishy, it's generally fishy. You could have seen me commenting on Facebook yesterday talking about how I thought Milwaukee was a trap bet. In the beginning, it didn't look like a trap bet, but it ended up being a trap bet. And it happens. It happens all the time. If it's too good to be true, it often is too good to be true. And I'm not always going to be right. But I mean, with the Lakers ones, Lakers were part of my strategy too. You know, I'm very big on counter punch basketball. I mean, if the team goes down 2-0, I couldn't tell you how many people were like, oh, Jazz sweep. No, I stuck to it. I kept saying, this is going 7. This is going 7. And it might not now, but that's only because Kawhi went down. Basketball is punch, counter punch, and you need to count on that. The series does not start until the home team loses. And remember that, okay? Because you can get some great odds as each game sways. And that's a way to take advantage of some things going forward, okay? So now to go over everything one last time, we have the Hawks +7, under 224, Bojan Bogdanovic over 18.5. We have Seth Curry over 14.5, Jazz -7, the under 220.5, Rudy Gobert, dub and win at even money. Gobert, points, rebounds, assists, over 25.5. And then the Paul George over 8.5 rebounds. I like that one as well. Okay, so I'm really excited for today's plays. I believe I tried adding it up last night. I went back and looked, and I think we're 42-22 on the year. And like I said, that's including one UFC night where we went 4-1 with the +188 Brandon Moreno victory. So if you don't include that, what are we? 38-21. Still pretty damn good. So the playoffs have been great. I'm hoping we keep this going today. And man, I really want to thank everyone too. I can't tell you how many texts, how many DMs I got after that Brandon Moreno victory. It was really cool to see how excited everyone else got about it. And it was really cool to see like how he kind of captivated the world with that UFC victory. And that's what we're trying to do here. That's what we're trying to do here in Detroit Sports Bettors, is just the positivity, like gassing each other up. We want everyone to win. That's why I give these picks every day. That's why we're trying to give you guys the best information. So help us to spread this. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a recommendation. You know, I honestly, I've been looking on Twitter and stuff like that. I don't know that many people who are around 42 and 22. So, you know, guys, the least we can do is give it a like, give it a subscribe, give us a recommendation. Like, you know, a lot of work does go into these videos. I do a lot of research, you know what I mean? And again, this stuff is completely for free. I know people who pay for subscriptions who aren't doing as good as this. So like all I'm asking for, some recommendations, some likes, some subscribes, give us some love. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that DFS lineup got filled, so shout everyone out. I appreciate that. But like come NFL time, dude, I want our shit getting up to like 1,000 people, 2,000 people with huge prizes. You know, like, so that's what I want. I want to get this sports group going for real. I got some more stuff coming. I actually have a Brandon Moreno interview coming at some point. And then we have another NHL guy that we're going to get on here. So we're going to start mixing it up, have some guys from other professional sports do some picks for us, do some interviews for us. So I hope I can get some more cool stuff going forward. So good luck today, guys. Let's get some more wins this Wednesday. Again, we're coming off that 3-1 night. Like, subscribe, recommend us. I greatly appreciate it. And the podcast should be out tomorrow or Friday. I'm not positive on that, but one of those 2 days I'll make an announcement, and then I'll have at least 2 more YouTube videos coming your way later this week. So let's just keep this shit rolling. You know, the NBA playoffs only last so long, so we got to get these wins while we can. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you, and I am out. Happy Wednesday. Good luck.